Gauri Singh is IRENA's Deputy Director General. She has worked in renewable energy development for over a decade. She was one of the driving forces behind India's national solar mission back in 2010. She spearheaded several renewable energy initiatives aimed at improving the livelihoods of rural communities, artisans, and low-income women across India. And she joins us now. Welcome, Gauri. Thank you for making time for us. I know it's a crazy busy day today.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me here.
All right, let's get started. What do you expect will be the main takeaways, or what do you hope will be the main takeaways from today's IRENA Assembly?
You know, it's a very important day for us and a very important assembly because it happens in person after 3 years. So naturally, there's a lot of excitement about meeting people that you've only seen virtually for the last 3 years. But apart from the fact that we do have the who's who in the energy sector here, we have high level, very, very high level delegates who are here to discuss about the state of energy transition. But it also, it happens at a moment where the run-up to the COP28 is really starting, and our first plenary, in fact, is about the global stocktake, where we hope that there will be discussions on where we are currently and where we need to go. So clearly, you know, the strong messages that seem to be coming out from these conversations that we've heard in the COP27 and in other forums is that there needs to be an acceleration of pace. Mm-hmm. So while there has been there has been an increased uptake of renewables, but it's really not enough. It's clearly much more needs to be done, and I hope the discussions at the assembly will lead to some furthering the narrative on what needs to be done and how the pace can be accelerated for the energy transition moving forward.
Okay, we are, of course, in Abu Dhabi, the capital city of the UAE. As a major energy producer, what do you think the UAE brings to the table?
The fact that they were actually the first in the region to announce their net zero ambitions for 2050, I think was a great starting point for getting a momentum started off in the region. And since then, we've seen many other countries in the region up their ambition and bring in the net zero very firmly into the energy agenda. What we think is important is that in Abu Dhabi, it's not just an intent, a show of intent, but it's very clearly demonstrated by the actions that are being taken for getting projects on the ground, for actually making the moves that are needed to make the energy transition and the net zero happen. So I think that's a very important aspect of not just having a very strong political intent, but also being able to demonstrate it on the ground.
Okay, if you could sum up in one sentence for me, what is IRENA's top priority going forward?
I think for us, it is the pace of the energy transition has to be accelerated. There's no question about it. And I think we have in the assembly today all the required decision makers who can take that decision and can actually take the required actions to make it happen.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Most welcome.